Estas son las noticias del Noticiero Latino de Colorado.
Hello everyone, my name is Todd Chamberlain. I'm the Chief of Police for the City of Aurora. Spelling is T-O-D-D. Last is C-H-A-M-B-E-R-L-A-I-N. This afternoon, right around 1:30 in the afternoon, officers responded to a radio call that was put out by a community member that there was a fight, some type of dispute that was occurring in the apartment complex over here off to my left. The reporting person, the community member, stated that the fight has been ongoing and it's been escalating. And then at some point during this initial broadcast or this initial telephone call, the fact that a AR assault weapon type weapon was produced. The officers responded en route. While they were en route, another community member made an additional call, and we're still in the process of vetting all these calls and all the individuals who've made these telephone calls to communications. Made another phone call and stated that there was a fight actually occurring and there was actually a gun or some weapon that was seen. Our officers arrived on scene. When they arrived at the apartment complex, you'll see off to my right over here, they observed an individual that matched the description that was given by the community member, and that was an individual in a black hoodie who was armed with the assault type weapon. The officers stopped their vehicle. They approached that individual. They made several contacts with the individual verbally to have him drop his weapon. At that point, gunfire was exchanged by the officers towards the individual with the weapon, and the individual fell to the ground. The officers took that individual into custody. There was a assault weapon style that was laying on the ground next to them. That was moved off to the side and is presently on scene awaiting further investigation. The individual was transported to a local hospital where he has since succumbed to his injuries. The officers have been transported back to police headquarters where an investigation is unfolding at this time. And also the scene behind you is an investigation that will occur from multiple agencies, including the DA, including a number of other outside entities of the City of Aurora coming in to review and evaluate this event and how it unfolded. That's the information I have at this time. If you have anything additional you would like or any questions, please feel free to ask.
Chief, to be clear, so the initial call starts at Brent's place?
That's where it sounds like the initial call. And again, this is all really upfront information, but that's what it sounds like. The initial call occurred in Brent's place, somewhere in the parking lot area, involving two individuals. Again, one was in a black hoodie, possibly armed with the assault type weapon, and that's what we know at this point. At some point, too, we don't know, it transitioned obviously from Brent's side to this side. The one thing that I want us to put out, and I think, again, when you look at the officers' response to this incident, I think you really got to look at the situation in the community behind me. We have a large location that's used for children that are going to receive medical help across the street. Just down the street behind us is a school. Again, that's very alarming to see that environment, and then to see individuals that are walking around in this environment involved in arguments with an assault type style weapon, which again, we are still investigating and still trying to determine the exact circumstances of what that weapon is, who had it, when it was had. All those other information will come out.
To be clear, though, we see the fencing around Brent's place. The individual with the AR assault style weapon was on the outside of the fence on that property?
And that's still what we're trying to determine. Luckily, we have body-worn video that we're looking at. We are also exploiting the community's videos on this, and so we've went out to the different locations in and around the community and pulled closed-circuit television, which we're also going to hopefully use to put this investigation together and find out exactly and precisely what occurred on behalf of the individuals involved, as well as our personnel that were involved in this.
Who's the other person involved?
Right now, that person, again, we have him identified. I'm not going to give that information out, but he has been transported, and he's at the station right now, and he's going to be interviewed.
Not hurt? Not hurt?
Not that I know of, no. And that I don't know. I don't know those circumstances yet.
Chief, was the suspect shot? Did he shoot officers just to clear it up?
I couldn't hear you, sir.
The suspect who was shot, did he shoot at officers?
At this time, we don't think there was that. At this time, we think it was just our officers that were involved in the officer-involved shooting. But again, more information will follow as we get this investigation going. We do have crime scene investigators that are out here that will look at all the circumstances in and around and verify exactly what we have.
Do you have an age on the individual?
I do not know.
Male or correct?
It's a male, both adults.
Witnesses, were there witnesses?
We have multiple witnesses in here. We have, from what I understand, we have actually the individuals who originally contacted the police that notified police of this violent event that was unfolding. Also notified us of the possibility of weapons involved. So we do have those witnesses, and then we also have some witnesses that were in the apartment complex who observed this as well. So again, that's, for us, that is something that we are really going to detail and spend a lot of time and investigation on.
Was the fight in progress when officers arrived?
Yeah, that's what I still don't know the circumstances. Again, this happened less than an hour ago, so we are going to piece that together. But we know that there was some fight based upon what the information that we received, again, from the community. I just don't know the extent of that.
And how many officers were involved?
At this point, we have 2 officers that were involved. I'm not sure exactly how many were actually involved in the actual shooting. And then we had other officers that responded later on.
Did 911 call or radio first call come from Brent's place? Someone from the facility?
That's what I believe, yes. And we're not 100% certain on that. I'm not at this point anyway.
Do you know how many shots were fired?
I don't know, no.
Was he alone or was he with the injury?
At this point, it looks like he was probably alone. And again, even that, I can't give real specific, and I apologize to you, but I do not want to give you bad information. I really don't.
Did you want to address again proximity to the hospitals across the area?
Well, again, like I mentioned, again, all these calls, when you think of officers responding to community calls for service, that's what this was. This was not a self-initiated call. This was a community member who had nowhere else to turn other than the Aurora Police Department to get some kind of help. After seeing this fight that was unfolding in front of their face near a hospital and near a school. So again, this was not a officer self-initiated call. This was on the request of the community who really had nobody else to turn to. So these officers responded to this incident. They responded not only to the one call, but they responded to another community member who made a very similar call and stated that a weapon was involved. And our officers got here, again, that's what unfolded. But I think, again, when you look at the severity of the incident, what initially came out from the community, not from us, but from the community, and then I think when you look at the location where it happened, it's really troubling. To me, that's really troubling. When you think of a school across the street, when you think of another location where it's a hospital, where children come to get services from across the nation, and that's what they have to confront and deal with. So I'm thankful that our officers were here today. I'm thankful that we were able to conclude this, and I look forward to the investigation and finding out all of the circumstances and what unfolds.
Chief, do you have any reason to believe the suspect lives in that apartment complex?
At this point, I really don't know. I don't, and I don't want to give you bad information again.
Did you confirm that the suspect did sustain a gunshot? That is the injury?
At this point, yes. Anything else?
Do we know if the fight was inside the box or outside?
It looks like it kind of was in both places and spilled over different places.
Starting in Brent's place.
That's what it sounds like, yes.
Are tenants being allowed into their apartments? Are they being asked to shelter in place or anything like that?
No, they're in there now. The incident again, when it unfolded, they were in place, so there was no harm to them on behalf of our response. And again, when you look at the school, again, the same thing. It was not in lockdown, and so like the officers' actions again really prevented what I think could have been even a more tragic event.
Chief, to be crystal clear, it starts on the property of Brent's place or inside the building of Brent's place?
And to be crystal clear, I can't give you that crystal clear right now because I don't know.
Does it start on the property?
It starts somewhere on the property, yep, but I'm not sure where, and I'm not sure interior or exterior. All that's going to have to unfold as this investigation goes. Anything else for anybody? Thank you very much, and I appreciate it.